Happy Friday night, fellow comic book fans. This is the night that I review some comics from the previous Wednesday. What I'm going to do is one that I didn't like and the top three that I did. I'm going to do them separate just so I can talk about each one individually. So, what did I like? What did I not like? Stay tuned. Okay, and now for the good. Two of the comics that I have this week for the good. All three of the good ones are kind of blind buys. This one here is Rhe Dollhouse Family #1 by Joe Hillhouse Comics. It's Joe Hill's imprint for DC. I think it's under the Black Label thing, but either way. I read the Basket Full of Head one a couple of weeks ago or last week. Really liked it. And this one is written by somebody else. It's by M.R. Casey. M.R. Casey. I like how the initials make up Mr. So it's Mr. Casey, which would be even more ironic. It would be ironic if it was a woman who wrote this, but I'm not sure, but still. And Peter Gross, Vince Locke, I'm assuming he does the art, and Chris Peter. The Dollhouse Family, I had no clue as to what it was about, except that it possibly had something to do with the dollhouse. Now, this takes place starts out in 1979, England. Well, let me take that back. There is a one-page, the opening page, segment where it's some other being that arrives on what I assume is Earth. It's like, hey, this is a planet that actually has time and form, and so it shows that this is some otherworldly creature. And it lands on Earth, and then boom, next page, 1979 England, where you are introduced to a mother, a father, and a child who have just received a very, very intricately carved dollhouse from a great aunt on the mother's side that the mother had no idea she had. And this was meant to be left for the daughter. And you have the mother and father going back and forth saying, do we want to, father saying, yeah, your family's kind of crazy. And you can tell the father really isn't sure he wants to let this kid have his dollhouse because, it's old and there might be lead in the paint and all that stuff. But the mother says, let's keep it. You can sort of see there might be a tad, I don't really want to see a strain on the relationship at this point, but you can sort of see that something's up. Then it skips to 1826, which I think is a kind of shows someone who is possibly a forebearer of one of these side of the family. I'm assuming it's the mother's side. I'm not sure. Where they're doing surveying of the coast of Ireland. Trying to get the exact measurements down, because the last survey crew was off by 5 feet on something. And these people take pride in the fact that their measurements are exact. And dude, they're going back and he goes into a cave. They found a cave that wasn't there, and he's like, okay, I want to investigate this. I'm going to take 100 steps in, and if I don't see anything, I'm going to come back out. Turns out he gets lost in there. and things ensue. Comes back to 1984 with the mother and the father, and the daughter's still sitting there. She's playing with the dollhouse, the little creatures that she finds in there, the little dolls that are in there. And you can hear the mother and father arguing in the back. Things are getting serious. Jumps to 1826 again. Then a couple of years in the future, and then you find out that the dolls are, that the daughter has named. There's supposedly the mother and father and 3 kids are alive, and she can get shrink down to hang out with these kids. And there is a room in there called the Black Room. I really don't want to go much farther into this because this will be spoilers at this point. But it starts out really slow, and you're like, I don't know if I'm really going to enjoy this. But by the time you get to the end of the book, damn. So I've read started 2 different series from Joe Hill, the Joe Hill imprint, and I've loved both of them. This one took a little bit more time to get to to get there than the Basket Full of Heads did, but it still got there. And I don't think it's as good as the Basket Full of Heads, but it's still good. So I'm going to recommend this. I mean, the art is fantastic. The art in this one is, I think, a little bit better than it was, a tad bit better than it was in the Basket Full of Heads, but it's still, both are still good. But this story starts out a little bit slower, so that takes it down. I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5. And if you liked Lock and Key, which I've only read part of one of the books on, if you liked Basket Full of Heads, you'll like this one. And so, get it. And let me know what you thought, and like and subscribe.